Hi everyone, Cynthia Madi here. I have to really commend the president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, for finally recognizing MKO Abiola as a GCFR. So the president of Nigeria is only doing what should have been done a long time ago. And the thing is, if A doesn't do something, B will eventually do it. But for people in Nigeria, for MKO Abiola's family, and for some Yoruba people, especially a man who I used to have tremendous respect for, a man who was a one-time governor of Ekiti State, even though his tenure was short-lived, a man who is supposed to be very educated. I'm talking about none other than Fayemi. Well, there's a statement credited to Fayemi in which he said that even if Muhammadu Buhari didn't do anything in office, the fact that he recognized MKO Abiola qualifies him to run for another term. Usai. You see, when I read that comment, I was highly disappointed in the man Fayemi. I was also kind of disappointed in MKO Abiola's family, because even though their father, who is a national icon, was finally given the honor and respect that he very well deserved, that is overdue, it still isn't enough reason for one to take a stand that a president who has spent so far 3 years in office and hasn't really done much, that should not be the basis for which an endorsement for another tenure should. I was wondering what the problem is with Nigeria. And I found out that the problem of Nigeria is Nigerians in itself. The I syndrome, the my own, for me and mine, me, I. You see, by the time we begin to put aside I, me, my own, mine, and begin to embrace ours, we, us, this country will move forward. In Nigeria, even though the oppression is not on black and white, you can tell that there is a subtle oppression going on in that country, where people do not have freedom of speech under the current leadership of Muhammadu Buhari. Now, election is around the corner. This is a man who has come out openly to declare the youth of Nigeria as lazy people. A man who did not do anything in his, so far, who has not impressed Nigerians, let me put it that way. A man who is known to be the biggest divider of the nation because he's highly tribalistic. Suddenly he gets a pass because he has done what he's supposed to do, or he has done what his predecessors were supposed to have done. You see, in Nigeria, we just have a very short memory, as long as that memory appeases us or our intents or intentions. Now, a man who took over reins of a country from his predecessor, whom he has spent his entire position as a leader criticizing, to start borrowing some leadership style from the same person, I find ridiculous. A man who made several electoral promises to the people of Nigeria, and so far 3 years down the line is yet to do anything, is funny how just because of one act, one gesture towards the Yoruba nation, suddenly people are calling for him to run again. I don't know what part of the Constitution that says a president, after giving to someone what is due him, should automatically run for office or should automatically be recommended. While everybody has a freedom to express who their candidates are, it is very imperative for Nigerians, and especially the youth, to not allow history repeat itself. And by that, I mean it is very key for Nigerian youth to frown at someone who has declared them as lazy. Matter of fact, Nigerian youth happen to be the most hardworking in the world, because considering the weather under which they try to fend for themselves, it is they do well. So it is almost a sin for the same person who came out openly to declare Nigerian youths as lazy to be given endorsement to come back. Now, this is a man who, if he really wants to be honest with himself and feel the pulse of the nation, should know that Nigerians really are tired of his leadership. Matter of fact, he's not been a leader right now. He's been a ruler. The fact that you take a uniform off a man and wear him agbada does not make him go from being a ruler to a leader. I don't care if you call it a whatever dispensation you want to call it. The character is ingrained, is inborn, is inside, is in it. So fellow Nigerian youth who have been called lazy, I think you owe it to yourself to not allow history repeat itself. For Christ's sake, Zimbabwe got tired of an oppressive leader, and we applauded them when they did something about it. Several countries around the world have done something about their leadership, and we seem to jump on social media to commend those people. Why can we not do the same for ourselves? Muhammadu Buhari, Nigerian youths are tired of you. That's the truth. And I have tremendous respect for that man who actually looked you in the face and told you that at 74, you should be facing your cows in Daura and thinking about retirement. How many times in your lifetime do you want to rule people? Leadership should not be a birthright. Nigerian youths, so while they are still insulting you people and calling you lazy, I think it's time for you people to show how very hardworking you are. First, by going to grab your PVC. Second, by for once in our lives, become absolutely unbribable. Let us become unbribable. And for some of us who are unable to reject little gifts, however way they may come, I think it's time for us to take their gifts and still vote your conscience. Because for us to move Nigeria forward, we cannot keep repeating the same system, the same pattern. We cannot have people that go to represent us as Nigerians in the Senate and have them throw chairs at each other, or at best, you find some of them sleeping, or you find some of them going after personal gain. It is high time that we do something uncommon. If as a people, we expect uncommon result. Pack all the entertainers to Aso Rock and go and bribe them and have an evening dinner. You see, that's the funny thing. In other developed countries, entertainers use their voice positively. But in Nigeria, you find that some people just throw 1 or 2 million naira and you can get them to dance to whatever whim of just about any politician, which is extremely sad, because in countries that work, you find that entertainers are highly respected because these entertainers can actually look presidents in the face and turn down invitations. And this is a big shout out to those entertainers in Nigeria that are not buyable, those ones whose conscience cannot be bought by a flight ticket to Aso Rock, a dinner with the president, handshakes, photo ops, and maybe 2 million naira to go back to their respective lives, only for us to sell ourselves and sell our votes and sell the people who look up to us over what? Peanuts that will probably not last you a couple of months. We cannot afford to be bought any longer. Nigerian youth, please go out there, get registered to vote. And on the voting day, please come out. For those people who are registered to vote but are yet to pick their PVC, remember that the refusal to participate in the forthcoming election is a decision in itself by allowing those old, tired people. We cannot afford another 4 years of leadership, in quotes, of Muhammadu Buhari. So it is time for us to start looking at younger people who are coming up, like Omo Yele Showore, like Donna Duke, like Fela Durotoye. Let us begin to look at those people, because this is not a time to talk about political experience. Because if we were to talk about political experience, then all the political experience that our past leaders, such as Obasanjo, have had has no positive bearing on the system. We must have a better and a new Nigeria. It's time to begin to think differently, act differently, and support differently candidates that are coming up for to vie for the position of president in the forthcoming election. I remain your girl, Cynthia Amadi. Until I come your way again, stay blessed, and please, Nigerian youth, do not forget to get registered to vote, and on election day, come out to vote.